Hello, I'm Mari, and this is my life. I was born January 4th, 1992 on a snowy day in Ottawa, Canada to my lovely parents, Carol and Simon. I am the youngest of 6 children. Yep, 6. And I have 4 sisters, Claire, Kate, Emily, and Sarah, and 1 brother, Ian. As you can see, I have the weirdest name of the bunch. My first name is Scottish, and it means sea of bitterness, but I am not bitter about that. And my last name is Native and French, and it literally means to have someone's arm cut off. Some French dude cut off the arm of one of my great-great-great-great-grandfathers, and that's how we got the name. But subsequently, the French dude was cursed and his whole posse died, so joke's on him. I lived in Ottawa my entire childhood, and it was awesome because the summers are beautiful, and I would spend most of my time outside making stories with my friends. I also spent a lot of time making up dances, making clothes for my stuffed animals, painting, and creating radio shows with my sisters, which is really telling for what I do now. Winters were also really great. Winter in Ottawa is just as beautiful as it is in the summer, with skating on the canal, beaver tails, snow forts. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a snow fort. It looks like a bush, but I also had some pretty awesome friends growing up, particularly Chelsea and Annie, who I'm still friends with today. We've known each other since I was like 3 or 4, and my really good friend Nicola, who I've known since forever, and she's pretty awesome too. I've been doing dance since I was 3, but I had a pretty major case of stage fright, so that was kind of short-lived. But I was introduced to rhythmic gymnastics shortly after by my friend Nicola, and I found my niche. Thank you, Nicola, for that. By the time I was 8, it became pretty serious when I started to compete. I even went to China to train, but I subsequently got sick and was in the hospital for 5 days. But that's another story for another time. Oh yeah, so much rice. From then on, my life was pretty much devoted to gymnastics, which meant I missed a lot of birthday parties, sleepovers, and I kind of stopped creating as much stuff as I did when I was a kid. I may have missed out on a whole bunch of my childhood, but I did make a lot of amazing friends at gymnastics. Then there's too many to name, but I love you all. And my wonderful coach, Sing, who is like a second mother to me. When I turned 15, I started to compete nationally, and I went alone to Toronto for a week to train, and subsequently went to Toronto every other weekend to train for 2 years. Give that some perspective, it takes 4 hours to get to Toronto. But I did get to travel around the world competing, and it was a pretty awesome time. I stopped gymnastics in my last year of high school to focus on getting into university, and I was really into drama. I loved writing, and my drama buddies were pretty awesome. Caitlin, Carrie, and Carmen, you rock, and you taught me to let my freak flag fly, so thanks for that. I applied to Ryerson University in Toronto, which has a reputation to be hard to get into for its creative programs, but I applied to graphic communication management, new media, and fashion communication. And my guidance counselor told me I should have a fallback university, but I told her my fallback was to join the circus, which was true. But I got into fashion communication anyways, and I graduated with a 92 average and said sayonara to high school. Going to university for fashion was kind of terrifying, but during my days of lack of sleep, I met some pretty awesome people. 2 of these people in particular were Kirsten and Aaron, who lived on my floor in first year. We moved in together in second year into a really weird apartment in which we all had windows into each other's room. It was funny, but it was kind of weird. In third year, we moved into a student co-op because we all got accepted on exchange, so we couldn't sign a full lease. But it was pretty awesome there. It was me, Kirsten, Aaron, Gerald, an exchange student from the Netherlands, and number 4, who shall not be named. We spent a lot of time laughing hysterically in the hallway due to lack of sleep for no reason. Sorry, Gerald. After 4 months of living with each other, we parted ways. Kirsten and Gerald went to the Netherlands, Aaron went to England, and I am in Denmark, and I'm having a pretty good time so far. I've met some pretty awesome people, and I've had some pretty awesome times. As for the future, well, I'm not sure. I spend most of my time dancing, drawing, writing, making costumes, making movies, taking photos, and all around just doing creative things, because that's what I love to do. And you know what they say, make is gonna make. Well, that's my life up to this point. Hopefully it just gets more and more interesting from here. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube and my blog, which is kind of designing and stuff. I hope you liked this, and I think you should subscribe. Just a recommendation. Thanks. And go draw something.